this could scare you.
They are not what they claim to be.
Actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs.
Hello, friends. Has curiosity gotten the better of you, leaving you wondering what could possibly be out there among the stars or what's lurking in our backyards? Has the enigma of the supernatural intrigued you, consumed your every living thought, or the attraction of the uncanny leaving you questioning all that you have been taught? Well, we can't give you any answers, but what we can give you are tall tales.
I think it's literally a skill.
Yeah, well, he was saying he listens to like solo podcasters too, like Bill Burr and Tim Dillon and stuff. He listens to those type of podcasts. I don't.
No, I feel like talking to myself is just like a recipe for disaster.
I'm great talking to myself if I'm by myself. Like,
but trying to communicate that, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's always in the back of your head, like, oh.
Plus, I'm just not that naturally funny. You know how some people just are?
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious. He can just say something. Just like,
he is. Yeah. All right. Well, we've already started the podcast. I'm recording. I'm not stopping it. So. All right. I'm doing the Anthill Kids. Have you heard of them?
The Anthill Kids.
The Anthill Kids. Man, I wrote this script up. Oh, does it say on docs when I wrote this up? This was months. This was last year I wrote this up before, a bit after we stopped doing the podcast. I just did it through like ChatGPT and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fucked. Like, it's a cult. This one's not as funny as like shooting pianos into the air.
Society.
Yeah, but it's pretty creepy. This guy's French. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But yeah, he's the leader. Roch. I'm just gonna say Roch, but it's Roch. Thériault. Roch Thériault. Was a maniacal leader of the Anthill Kids, a small group that initially appeared to be an innocent community of free-thinking folks who supported themselves through self-sufficiency in their commune in the quaint Canadian wilderness. Canadian cult, you don't get that very often, from my knowledge. You've been to Canada, how is it?
Cult. Canada?
Yeah.
I got yelled at for riding a bike on the wrong side of a footpath. I didn't know that was a thing.
Really?
Yeah, some random dude. So our last day there, already getting completely sidetracked.
Who cares?
We took a bunch of gummies.
Yeah.
They're legal there, so cut me some slack, alright?
Yeah.
And we just started riding pushies around Stanley Park. Stanley Park, is that it?
Stanley Park.
Stanley Park? Stanley Island?
Yeah.
No, Stanley Park. I think it's Stanley Park. Stanley Island's in Australia.
Yeah.
Stanley Park, Vancouver. Yeah. It's just this big island at the top. They got like an aquarium and stuff there. It's really cool. Coyotes can apparently jump you there though.
Oi.
So yeah, we're riding pushies through there, having a hell time. And like along it, there's like a beach side and a lake side. The lake side looks like, when you just see like a marina.
Yep.
It was just like that. So we're riding along there, pretty ripped. And then some dude walks out in the middle of the footpath and he goes, "Stop! Stop!" And we're like, what? And he's like, "You can't ride your bikes on this side of the footpath." But he was saying it in like a douchey Canadian accent. He's like, "You can't ride your bikes on this side of the footpath." And we're like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, "Yeah, you got to go to the other side." And we're like, sick.
Oh, really?
I just rode off. Yeah, I just rode off.
Did you keep going down the same side?
Yeah, I was just like, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, why not?
And then another dude pulled us up a bit further ahead. And I was like, yeah, you're definitely in a cult.
You're the only person I know that's gone to Canada and not tried maple syrup, and it fucking bothers me. Like, you do shit like that all the time, like watching all the Harry Potters but the very last one. Like, why?
Why not?
Why have an experience and do it 95%?
I didn't have waffles there either. Apparently, they're pretty important.
Waffles in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't see a bear either.
I was pissed about that.
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
just at
man.
the. We were just. Well, I did see a lot of cool stuff, but all the animals were just hiding because it was just so cold.
It looks like a beautiful country. Apparently
Yeah.
it's all crazy over there at the moment. I don't know why.
Apparently, there were a lot of bushfires where we were.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the bushfires a couple weeks ago, right? Because New
Hmm.
York's sky was like red.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's all a psyop. I had this guy at
It's because they
work.
forced the vaccine on people.
Exactly. And as we know, the vaccine is fake. But I had this guy last week at work just rock up and start talking to me. He's from Belgium, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Belgium, and now I live here in Australia, and the government's out to get me, and yeah, I'm planning stuff, but I can't really talk about it. I forgot to tell you this, but yeah, just during work, he rocks up and starts talking to me and telling me that sort of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I don't know what to say to him. Like, what do you say to that?
I don't know.
And then
What
he
do you
just,
say? You're just gonna go like, oh yeah.
oh yeah, what are you trying to plan, huh? And then he just went back in his house. And he came out 2 hours later and he was waving to me. It's weird, man. I've never met a Belgian person, but that's what I think of them now.
They're all fucked.
Yeah, fucking lunatics. Can't beat Austrians though, of course.
No,
Anyways,
they're the number ones.
um, yeah, so he started a cult in the quaint Canadian wilderness. However, life inside the commune was much more disturbing than anyone could have ever fathomed. This cult's nuts. Roch Thériault was born on May 16th, 1947, in Seguinay, Quebec, Canada, into a French Canadian family and raised in Thetford Mines. As a
Yeah.
child, Roche was considered to be very intelligent, but dropped out of school in the 7th grade and began to teach himself the Old Testament of the Bible. Now, this is the point in the story where you can imagine he mistook what it was trying to tell him. Like all good heroes, Marv, Plain Man, it all starts with the Bible, doesn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, who doesn't love Jesus? You can take whatever message you want from it.
Yeah.
That's the end result, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's Christian, but there's like go to church and like have like dinners around Christ and stuff, and then there's build a cabin in the middle of the woods and start mailing bombs out to everyone.
Is that what the Unabomber did?
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. I
Oh,
should.
we'll do an episode on him eventually because he killed
Yeah.
himself. Killed himself. Asterix.
Oh no.
Or build a
Thoreau,
two-ton bulldozer.
exactly. Roche believed that the end of the world was nigh and would be brought on by the war between good and evil. Thoreau converted from Catholicism to the Seventh day Adventist Church and began practicing the denomination's regular holistic beliefs while encouraged a healthy lifestyle free of unhealthy foods and tobacco. So, not too bad at the moment. I mean, my mate's mum is Seventh day Adventist, and
What is that?
I don't know, it's some branch of like
Is it just a branch of the church? I've heard the Advent.
Christianity.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Like, she's not cutting people's limbs off. We'll get to that. But
Oh,
yeah, no bad food, no tobacco. It's pretty
do you reckon
moderately
that's a side hustle we could get into?
what
Start our own branch of the Catholic Church.
you could. I tried doing the
Because
whole
I've,
cult thing. It's hard to get traction though on Reddit.
yeah, but like, I don't know, you speak confidently, you own a jet. I feel like you could get it done.
Own a jet?
Yeah.
You reckon you got to have a jet?
Yeah. I feel like you need to show off your wealth and be like, God gave me this.
Yeah, Christianity starter pack.
Yeah. You either start broke and then become, a crazy
Yeah.
person.
I mean, we could
Or you
look
start.
into it.
Well, most Catholics I notice are not particularly poor people. They're usually middle, upper middle.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They're the ones that probably preach it, though, you know? There's probably a
Yeah.
lot of Catholics out there that have just,
Too poor to spread the message.
yeah, they can't afford a phone because
Oh,
they're
we're gonna piss off
fucking
so many
homeless.
people this week.
Try harder. Anyways, Thoreau was a charismatic man. I'm kidding. Thoreau was a charismatic man, good at persuading others to do his bidding. In the mid-70s, Thoreau convinced a group of people to leave their jobs and homes and to join him in a religious movement. I fucking love it. Thoreau formed the cult in 1977 in Sainte Marie, Quebec, with the goal to form a commune where people could freely listen to his motivational speeches, live in unity, equality, and be free of sin. Of course, just as with every other cult, the good times would quickly come to an end, which started when the Adventists kicked them out for their weird ass behavior. He prohibited the group from remaining in contact with their families and with the Seventh day Adventist Church. So, they're separated from the Adventists at the moment.
Yeah.
As this was against his cult's values of freedom, Thériault's fear of the end of the world grew even larger, claiming that God had warned him that it would come in February 1979.
Oh.
So always a specific date,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do they pick the dates though?
I don't know, man. You remember that 2012, um, like mass hysteria,
Yeah,
where everyone
who
thought the
doesn't?
world was going to end? And then that
Yeah,
movie came out, 2012.
yeah, and the whole world blew up.
Like, oh yeah, if they're doing a movie about it, it must be true.
That movie had some of the best special effect. It didn't, but it looked really cool.
Hey, listen. Hot take. I really like that movie, and I've seen it probably 15 times.
It's a fun movie.
It's
It's a
fun.
really fun movie.
It's fun. Yeah, it is fun, and it's got like Woody Harrelson being a complete Alex Jones conspiracy
Yeah.
theorist. Ah, nah, it's a fun movie. It's not great, but it's a
Yeah.
fun movie.
Yeah, not every movie has to be, a masterpiece. As long as it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the Star Wars sequels, which are utter garbage, but we'll talk about that later. We won't, but I'm just saying.
No. I don't think there's one that is complete garbage. The rest are okay.
Are we doing this?
Ye-
Are we going? Yeah. All right. Okay. Force Awakens is a direct copy of A New Hope.
Yeah, but
Last Jedi
that's not a bad
changed the
thing. A New
game.
Hope is a
No.
great movie.
But if you're gonna make another Star Wars movie, at least do something a bit different than recreate the very first fucking one. The Last Jedi is good. I enjoy that movie. I think it was interesting what Ryan Johnson did. He sort of flipped the narrative, you
Yeah,
know?
I agree. I like it.
And then
You
because
can skip the whole casino
Hollywood,
part.
exactly, you could probably piss that off. But, Hollywood doesn't like to get creative, so they
Mm.
started to freak the fuck out. They got to hire back JJ. And listen, Oscar Isaac says somehow Palpatine returned. That's a
No,
line in
I
the
agree.
movie.
I agree. Fucking Rise of Skywalker
Right.
is one of the worst movies ever.
Come on, man, you're finishing off a trilogy. What are you doing?
It's a freaking garbage movie.
I've
There's
seen it
nothing good about it. There's
once.
nothing redeemable about it. I've seen it twice, and the second time I hated it way more than the first.
I mean, come on, man. If you're gonna, like, you can have a shit first and second movie, but you need to nail the ending. You can watch a
Yeah.
shitty movie, but if they get the ending right, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of
It
fucking
could have
cool.
it could have been 2 hours of just Ray and Kylo, and
It
it would
could
have
have
been better than
been.
whatever turned out.
Leave the love story part out of it. You know what? Just start from scratch and make Finn the main character.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do. Apparently, in the new one that's coming out, Ray's pregnant.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All right, back to cult leaders.
Yeah, and yeah, so they split off. He's gone, and Roche decided to move his commune by hiking to a mountainside he called the Eternal Mountain in Saint George's, It's French. I don't give a fuck. In the sparsely populated Gaspé Peninsula. There he
Back-to-back French
claimed,
week.
eh?
Back-to-back French weeks.
I know, yuck. Anyways, he claimed there that they could all be saved, obviously, from the impending doom. And Thoreau made the commune build their own town while he relaxed, comparing them to ants working in an anthill, hence the name the Anthill Kids. It became apparent to Roche that the world would end in 79, and he moved them to the Canadian wilderness, convinced that God would spare them if he did that. Obviously, eventually February 1979 did roll around when the apocalypse was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen, and we're still here. So people started questioning Roche's wisdom, but he defended himself, saying that time on Earth and in God's world were not parallel, and that therefore it was a miscalculation. However, this lacking explanation did not stop his followers from romanticizing him and proclaiming him as their absolute supreme leader. To expand the community as well as keep members devoted, Thoreau married and impregnated all of the women, fathering over 20 children with 9 female members of the group.
Good on him.
I know, right?
Good on.
Jesus
That's a lot
Christ.
of sex.
Fuck
Because
monogamy.
you don't just get someone pregnant first try.
Yeah, I know. It's nutty.
That's an impressive effort. I'll
Yeah.
respect that.
20 children with 9. That's multiple kids per wife.
Wait,
Well,
did
I
you say
don't know.
9 or 19?
Nah, 20 kids with 9 female members.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, he's having doubles. He's doing triples.
He's just going back for seconds.
He's going back to back. He's not here to fuck around.
He just walks in going, we're having another one.
Yeah.
Come with me.
Come with me. Oh, yeah. By the 80s, there were 40 members nearly. And these followers were made to wear identical tunics to represent equality and their devotion to the commune. This is sick. Like, I want that. I want to be a supreme leader of a cult where everyone wears the same thing. That's fucking cool, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
but how do you have to be like super charismatic.
I
Like,
reckon
you
we
have
could
to-
pull it off.
How many listeners have we got?
2. I think last time I checked Anchor, it was
Wait,
like
hang on, I'll check it
5.
now. Give me a second.
I reckon we could pull it off. I mean, maybe we're not charismatic individually, but together, if we
I reckon
can.
I could bully or peer pressure someone
Yeah.
enough.
Probably.
Maybe not convince them, but I might be able to like wear them down.
Oh, listen. I know you got work tomorrow, but just come with me, alright? Come with me,
Yeah.
alright? I'll show you some cool shit. Look, you
Give me, look, just come with me and I'll pay.
some
What?
free
No, I never
shoes.
said I'd pay you. What are you talking about?
You like tunics? You like you like matching clothing? You like tracksuits?
Do you
Huh?
want a robe? I've got
Yeah,
a robe.
You want to wear a poncho? Who doesn't love a poncho? Ponchos are cool though.
Hey, here's a white hood.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Moving on. In 1984, the group relocated from Quebec to a new site near Burnt River, a hamlet in central Ontario, now part of the Kawartha Lakes in Canada. Following the cult's formation, Thoreau began to move away from being a motivational leader as his drinking problem worsened, becoming increasingly totalitarian over the lives of his followers and irrational in his beliefs. Members were not allowed to speak to each other than when he was not present, nor were they allowed to have sex with each other without his permission. How many?
Oi, that
Hey?
fucking remind. I forgot to tell you about this.
What?
Right, completely sort of irrelevant.
Oh.
I don't ask why I was looking this up, but I was trying to find. No, what was I doing? Anyway, I found out about this thing called dogging. Don't ask how I know what it is. You don't want to know. All right, dogging, right, is where two people, usually a single person and a couple, will go to one location. The couple will have sex in the car, or in public while the other person sits behind and watches.
Oh, so like cuck.
They do it in public places though.
So
It
cucking
has to
in
be a public
public.
place. But it's not
Yeah.
cucking because you're not. There's no bull and there's no cuck.
But aren't you just watching someone else have sex?
Yeah, but a cuck is someone that watches their partner have sex.
Oh, see, I'm not familiar with the intricacies of cucking.
Yeah, I've learnt a lot about cucking lately. Don't ask
Yeah.
why. Just
I'm not
don't
up to
ask.
date on my cuck law.
Yeah, you're not up to date. Yeah, you will be in a
He's got the
second.
fucking law book.
Did you know that the person that's doing the cucking is called the
Yeah.
bull?
No, I mean, you just said that. I've learnt it. Why do you know so much about cucking?
Just don't ask. Just don't.
Alright.
You don't want to know.
Alright, dogging. Continue.
The dogging, yeah. But like, look up. I'm not going to tell. Actually, everyone go onto Google, right? And just
Yeah.
type in dogging wherever you live. There
Oh, you
are
reckon there's
community
scenes?
boards dedicated to it,
I'm looking
and
it up
one
right
is around
now.
the corner from my house.
You gonna go?
I mean, I might.
What do you do? Would you be a watcher?
I'd be the guy that tries like scares them away or something, I guess.
Here we go. Dogging spots in bleep. Where are the? Its first result is Reddit, so it's good. Belmont Dog Park, plenty of doggos there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You just announced
No.
where you were.
Nowhere near Belmont. Belmont,
Oh, you're fucking. Oh,
what are
I
you
hate
gonna
the place
do?
you're from. I hate it so
What are you
much.
gonna do?
It's a disgusting place.
Oh, close my dock. Hold on. Get it back. Here we go. Alright. So, you can't have sex with Roche around. Anyways, he used his charisma to cover up for his increasingly abusive and erratic behavior, and none of the other members questioned this, or openly blamed him for any physical, mental, or emotional damage. Thoreau began to inflict punishments on followers that he considered to be straying by spying on them and claiming that God told him they did that. God told him what they did. Also, if a person wished to leave the anthill kids, Thoreau would hit them with either a belt or a hammer.
That's a big difference, eh? What is he? Does he just go? Well, today's gonna be the belt.
He
Oh,
flips a coin like Harvey
You've
Dent.
drawn the wrong card today, my friend. You're gonna cop the hammer.
Oh, what the fuck? Or, nah, like, he'll hit you with either a belt or a hammer. Alternatively, he'll suspend you from the ceiling, pluck each of their body hairs individually, or even defecate on them. Oh, Jesus.
Taking the piss, surely.
They raise money for living. They raise money for their living expenses by selling baked goods, and members who did not bring enough money were also punished. I mean, he's committed, you know.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants.
Part time. He's got in his LinkedIn like part-time cult leader, part-time baker. runs
Baker
a little
slash
mum and
cult
pop shop
leader.
on the board.
Belt and hammer enthusiast. Over time, Thoreau's punishments became increasingly extreme and violent, including making members break their own legs with sledgehammers, sit on lit stoves, shoot each other in the shoulders, and eat dead mice and feces. Oh, I fucking told you this would be gnarly.
Yeah. What the fuck?
A follower would sometimes be asked to cut off another follower's toes with wire cutters to prove loyalty. Additionally, he conducted gladiator tournaments. Why am I laughing, man? Why am I laughing at this?
Gladiator tournament.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
It does though. During these tournaments, Thoreau would force his followers into a dirt ring and fight. The abuse extended to the cult's children, which is actually quite fucked up.
Kids can. Yeah,
Who were abused, held over fires, or nailed to trees while other children threw stones at them. Man, that's fucked.
Ooh.
That's bad. Okay. In 1981, Roche sliced open the penis of 2-year-old Samuel. Yeah, to you it's Samuel Gilger. Oh no, man. Oh, it's just
Oh,
I just shiver when after he had difficulty urinating. That's horrible. A
that's
2-year-old.
fucking
Imagine doing it to a
awful.
2-year-old.
That's oh,
How
poor
how
kid, man.
yeah, how deranged do you have to be to do that?
You have to be pretty fucked.
Yeah.
But like, do you reckon he's just gradually just kept losing the plot?
You'd have to. I mean, when you're in an echo chamber like a cult, you'd be surprised how far you'd go. You
Yeah,
know?
because delusions can carry on. Like, you can start off a little bit delusional,
Snowball effect.
but then as like your delusions keep getting fed and fed and fed, you're gradually just going to lose the plot more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. You know?
So at this point, he probably just thought he could do whatever he wanted, and he
Well,
resulted in doing a really that's horrible, man.
well, when you blame anything on God, you can sort of get away with a lot, you know? When you say
Yeah.
God made you did it. Yeah, so he had difficulty urinating, and when Samuel wouldn't stop crying after the so-called surgery, Thoreau ordered his followers, Guy Vere, to beat the young boy, who subsequently died from his injuries. In a bid to
Oh,
conceal the death, the commune then set the boy's body on fire. As punishment, Thoreau castrated Vere and ordered his followers to say that Vere had been trampled by a horse. Sorry. Nevertheless, the truth came out, and police raided the commune and discovered the charred body of Samuel. Thoreau and 8 others were arrested, though, and charged with criminal negligence causing bodily harm. I'm
not murder.
surprised. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. I must have forgot, but why not murder? Are you kidding me?
That's horrible.
Yeah,
What a
well,
piece of shit.
they were all subsequently released, and one of Thoreau's wives left a newborn child, Eleazar Lavelle, outside to die in the freezing temperatures to keep him away from the abuse. So this woman would rather let their newborn baby freeze to death than expose it to Roche.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, so later Thoreau attempted to backtrack to the original religious mission of the commune, beginning to strongly believe in purifying his followers and ridding them of their sins through abusive purification sessions, where the members would be completely nude as he whipped and beat them. Thoreau claimed to be a holy being and started performing unnecessary amateur surgical operations on sick members to demonstrate his healing powers. Oh, okay, so now we get into the surgeries that he performed. So these surgeries included injecting a 94% ethanol solution into stomachs or performing circumcisions on the children and adults of the group. In 1987, social workers removed 17 of the children from the commune. I'm not sure if they're referring to kids or like children as in anthill kids. I'm not sure. I would assume it's young children. And additionally in 87, oh, sorry, I just said that. However, Thrall faced no repercussions for his abusive acts. Why? I don't know how he's like consistently getting away with this.
He's
I
either like the most confident person on the world,
mm,
or and like charismatic, or everyone that's in charge of his prosecution is just an idiot.
you reckon he could? I wonder if he like paid off the cops or something.
Here's the thing
Surely.
though, if you can't be like, I don't know how true this is. I'm just going based off something that I know that I won't share because it's a pretty horrible thing that happened.
Yeah.
But if they can't tie you directly to anything that happened, if all they can say is hearsay, like, oh, I said he did it, he said he did it,
Yeah.
this, and this, it's actually quite hard to prosecute someone.
Really?
Yeah.
With no physical
Oh, fuck,
evidence.
I'll just tell a story. I know. I know a story, and this is awful, right? Because this was a guy I actually went to primary school with.
I'm just gonna get my Ventolin. I can hear you, but keep talking.
Yeah, you'll need it. You out of breath. Oh.
Can't even
Typical
breathe.
fucking Melburnian. Can't breathe because he had the vaccine. Alright, so this guy ran through someone with a knife, a machete. Right, I'm
Ran
not gonna say
through.
where, I'm not gonna say how, like what happened, but they were both pretty young,
Mm,
and he later turned himself into the police.
mm,
Right, he turned himself in, admitting to the crime.
mm.
From what I know, which isn't a lot, he couldn't be charged because they couldn't find the murder weapon.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I saw him out of jail not that long ago.
But I've always been under the assumption if you admit to a crime, you are automatically guilty, right? Innocent until proven guilty. I mean, you're admitting that you did it.
Yeah, I know.
Could it be like, oh, is this guy legit, or is he, a bit deranged
Hmm.
or mentally ill? Maybe he's making it up. That's ridiculous, though, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, lucky shouldn't be lucky, but God,
Hmm.
that's horrible, man. Laura, my partner, Laura, my girlfriend, was saying that. Yeah, Laura, my partner, my girlfriend, Laura. Do I want to
Yeah,
dox
keep saying
myself
it.
anymore? Fuck. She was saying that because she's doing. I'm not, I was like, oh yeah, she's doing this and that. Yeah, she was in a certain area a couple of days ago, and she was saying she saw someone on the street with a grindstone sharpening a machete. This is the city, like the CBD, the central hub of my city. Some cunt there sitting on a park bench with an old fashioned, medieval grindstone,
Hmm.
sharpening a machete in broad daylight.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? I
Fucking
mean, it's
Victoria, eh?
understandable for my city, so yeah, I guess. Anyways, this can't this can't go. He can't get caught. I don't. Um, One evening, he placed a rubber band around the testicles of one follower.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
I know. Oh, the scrotum became swollen and infected after around 8 hours of this, and Thoreau removed the testicle and cauterized the wound with a hot iron. Cool guy. In 1989, when follower Solange Boilard, I'm just going to refer to them as Boilard, when they complained of an upset stomach, old mate performed another amateur surgery without anesthesia. He laid her naked on the table and punched her in the stomach. I mean, I don't know how his thought process works. He punched her in the stomach, then forced a plastic tube into her rectum to perform a crude enema with molasses and olive oil. He cut open her abdomen with a knife and ripped off a part of her intestines with his bare hands. What?
Oh.
You know, I ate a bit much. My stomach hurts. Oh, just get on the table. Yeah, a bit nauseous. Yeah, get on the table.
Yeah, it's like that Crusader thing where they would carve a cross into someone's skull if they got a headache.
Yeah, did we mention that on the podcast?
I don't think so. Imagine that going, oh, just had a big battle. I hit my head a couple times. Like, yeah, get on the table. I got just the thing.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know,
Body.
yeah, back in the day, like during the Crusades in the Middle East, when a crusader would complain of a headache, they would, what was it? They would scalp them and carve a cross into their skull or something.
Yeah.
Just barbaric. Like, oh, I'm a
Look,
bit
don't do any more
dehydrated.
research on it to find out if it's true or not, because I just want to believe it is.
I read it in a book, so
Yeah,
um,
obviously it's true then.
yeah. So Thoreau made another member stitch her up using needle and thread, and had other women shove a tube down her throat and blow through it. Boilard died the next day from the damage inflicted by the procedures, claiming to have the power. Oh, yeah, from the damage inflicted by the procedures, full stop. Um, Later claiming to have the power of resurrection, Thoreau bored a hole into Boilard's skull with a drill and then had other male members, along with himself, ejaculate into the cavity. Yeah, when Boiler did not return to life, her corpse was buried a short distance away.
Is that murder?
Yeah, man. I mean, what
Yeah.
else would it be? That's
Surgery gone wrong?
that ain't tax evasion. That's for damn sure. That's left for me.
Maybe this is all a ploy. He's trying to distract. What's the
Yeah.
Canadian tax office? I'm just going to say that. The Canadian tax agency from getting him. So he's doing all this other shit. So they just forget about his taxes.
The CTA. That's
It
what they're
all
called.
comes back to tax. All comes back to tax evasion.
Listen, I'm no expert, but if you could willfully evade taxes, yeah, I should probably shut up, shouldn't I?
I'm
It
not
is.
paying taxes.
It is.
Oh,
It
public
is.
service announcement. I refuse to pay my taxes this year.
Public service announcement to all listening: I do not pay my taxes, and I have no plans to do so. That's a lie. Lavelle underwent harsh treatment. This is another cult member, the one who forced the tube down the dead lady's throat. Her name's Lavelle. I don't know if I mentioned that. She underwent harsh treatment at the Ontario commune during the late 80s, suffering welding torch burns to her genitals, a hypodermic needle breaking off in her back, and 8 of her teeth being forcibly removed. Lavelle attempted to escape from the commune after Thoreau cut off parts of her breast and smashed her head in with the blunt side of an axe. Lavelle
Wait, she's still
complained.
alive.
Yes, currently still alive after getting smashed in with an
Like, she's still alive
axe.
today.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I
Right, I
might
thought
have
you meant
something.
no, yeah, that makes sense. She lived that.
She did live through all that though. Yes.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Lavelle actually complained that she had a toothache, and Thoreau responded by ripping out a number of her teeth with pliers. Um,
Uh,
Later that night, he chased her with a knife and cut the tendon of one of her hands. Um, yeah, so in July of
dude, what a
'89,
fucking sociopath.
it this lady gets bad. Like in July '89, Thoreau impaled Lavelle's hand on the kitchen table after she complained of stiffness in the hand. He then decided he needed to amputate Lavelle's arm. He grabbed a meat cleaver and hacked her arm off. And yeah, she laid in agony on the kitchen floor until the stump was stitched up the following morning. God, I don't know how you can do this, man.
How is
Especially in
she
the name of
alive?
God. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Surely after
Surely this
the.
cunt's taking the piss. Nah, like, what?
I don't know, man. She did manage to escape though. So
Yeah, looking like our, like,
Frankenstein.
predestined Formula One driver.
Yeah, the lightest driver on earth. Boom. Oh, inside jokes. That's from our other podcast, by the way, which we newly started. What did we call it? Shake and bake.
Shake and bake
Because
F1, talking about
yeah,
everything motorsports, because these two
because
things are so closely related.
yeah,
Anyone that likes motorsports is also into what would we call this? True crime? We've done true
I was
crime.
thinking about that last week. We do true crime. I was just gonna say like supernatural conspiracy,
Yeah.
urban legend. You know,
Mm.
true crime too. It's a bit of a mix. It's a bit of a mix.
Mm.
Um, did you also, fun fact, did you know that George Washington's wooden, he has wooden teeth, right? So it's said. You sort of had to
Wait,
know that to know this. But did you know that
no,
George
I didn't
Washington
know he had wooden teeth.
supposedly had wooden teeth? That's actually a lie, because his wooden teeth were a cover up for him actually having slave teeth as his teeth, but they just said wooden teeth to make it sound good. You know?
What? So he had some guy's tooth that was a slave.
Yeah, he just used to like buy slaves' teeth and chuck them in his mouth.
Well, how much would you sell your teeth for?
How much did dentures cost? Look that up. Look that up. I'll give you an answer. Look it up. In Australia, because that's very important. I'd like to
Lower
make
dentures.
I'd like to make
1700.
profit off of it.
About $3,000.
Okay, so $3,000 taking into account, I'll probably sell my teeth for $100,000, $103,000.
That's a side hustle to get into. We'll sell people start selling. I was about to say something that would have had to not been included.
What?
We should start selling teeth.
Hey, say it.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, man, free country, say it.
I'm good.
They'll make me take the vaccine again.
Oh,
On the
I
16th
never
of
got my
August.
booster. I never got my booster.
Oh, it's not real. Fucking, not even a vaccine. Where were we? Yeah, axe, head damage, stabbed in the hand, decapitated, or not decapitated, but like amputated. On the 16th of August, roughly a month later, Lavelle managed to escape from the commune. She hitchhiked to a hospital north of Toronto, and the disturbing truth of the commune was finally laid bare, effectively dissolving the anthill kids. Provincial authorities had long held suspicions about Thoreau's cult. No shit, man. Due to the particularly primitive living conditions of its membership, hasn't this been made available to like the law, right? Like aren't they
Everything
arresting
about
and
this fucked.
yeah, so because the commune was officially registered as a church, however, officials were legally unable to investigate the adults and could not do much except ensure the welfare of the children. Later, Thoreau was found guilty of assault for the manipulation of Lavelle's arm and received a sentence of 12 years imprisonment. The vast majority of the cult's followers abandoned Roch after his arrest, but during his imprisonment, he fathered another 4 kids with remaining female members during conjugal visits.
In prison?
Yeah, he's having kids. He's having kids.
In prison?
Yeah, you got to extend the bloodline.
Was he a good looking dude?
Let me see. Roche. Oh, I'm not even fucking typing. Roche. Here we go. Oh, nah.
No.
Nah, he's got
What's
a
the name of the gang?
massive forehead, man. He looks like someone. I can't put my finger on it. On my stump.
Roch Thériault.
He looks like Santa, but with brown hair and completely fucking deranged.
He looks fucking crazy.
He does. Why is it all those type of guys look the same, Like Manson, him.
Yeah.
They all look the same. Starter kit. How's the forehead on him, though?
He's got a giant head.
Yeah.
Is he still alive? He is? No, he died. Never mind.
Anyways, where were we? Yeah, so he gets 12 years, has another 4 kids during conjugal visits. Lavelle's report allowed further investigation into Thoreau's actions, exposing the wider abuses at the communes and Boylard's murder. She was the lady that got completely destroyed on the table.
Yeah.
In 93, Thoreau pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for the death of Boylard and was sentenced to life imprisonment. In 2000, Thoreau was transferred to Dorchester Penitentiary, a medium-security prison in Dorchester, New Brunswick. And in 2002, Thoreau was rejected for parole as he was considered to be high risk to reoffend, believe it's called. And he actually never applied for parole again. Um, so this is interesting. The story is pretty much done. But in 2009, Thoreau tried to sell his artwork on a US based website called murderauction.com, which called itself a true crime auction house and was willing to sell some of Thoreau's drawings and poetry. The Correctional Service of Canada prevented Thoreau's work leaving Dorchester Penitentiary and Stockwell Day? Oh yeah, sorry, and Stockwell Day, the Canadian federal public safety minister at the time, wrote to the Correctional Service to express concern that the killer was benefiting from work in prison. So, like, murderauction.com, it's a real site. You can look it up. It's kind of like eBay of the macabre, just real weird stuff. It's got auctions of autographs, letters.
Murderauctions.com, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's got autographs, letters, photos, and artwork of all different serial killers and like other notorious
Oh, there's
criminals.
a couple. There's True Crime Auction House.
Weird, hey?
Elmer Wayne Henley handmade butterfly brooch in resin sent to his mother. I don't know who that was.
Hmm.
There's only like 4 things, and it looks like I'm about to get a virus off it. Try
I
this
know John Wayne Gacy did painting occasionally.
one. Collector cards.
Collector cards.
Oh, that's a Transformer.
Hey!
Christopher Scarver. I don't know who that is. Charles
What are you
Stevens. Levi.
saying?
Who are all these people? Henry Hill.
That's familiar.
That is familiar.
Henry Hill. I'm not too big on the true crime stuff.
Neither. That's actually a really cool painting. I don't know what he did.
He was a mobster. That's right, yeah. Mobster associated with the Lucchese crime family of New York City.
Autographs.
Oh, Henry Hill's the dude that they did Goodfellas.
That's right. That's where I've heard that name.
Ray Liotta played him in Goodfellas. Of
That's
course. That's a great movie.
Sarah Aldred. Who's that? Prison-owned hair holder.
Ah,
Dawn Great signed commissary receipt. Bro, this is fucked. As if people are actually buying this stuff.
yeah, man. Well, it's weird, hey.
Who's Sarah Aldred?
Who?
A convicted Mexican serial killer who headed a drug smuggling and human sacrifice cult.
Hmm.
She received a sentence of 62 years. I can get her autograph. Oh, Charles Manson signed visitation form.
Oh, signed.
$500.
Only. You got to think though, that's someone at the prison going like, "Oh, visitation form. I'll take a picture of that, and I'll keep that, and I'll sell it." Like, that's got to be a guard or something, right?
Yeah, like, do they get the money?
Will it be whoever's listed it? Yeah, but it's a crazy site, and he tried to sell his shit on there, but they're like, "Nah, can't do it."
Fair enough.
And on February 26, 2011, at age 63, he was found dead near his cell at Dorchester Penitentiary. His death is believed to be the result of an altercation with his cellmate, Matthew Gerard MacDonald. He was a 60-year-old convicted murderer from Port, Newfoundland, and he was charged with the killing of Roche. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison on top of his already extensive sentence, having already been serving a life sentence for a previous murder charge. There you go. So he's got a life sentence originally. Now he's got another one. It's rumored what he did was stab Thoreau in the neck with a shiv. He then walked to the guard station, handed them the weapon, and proclaimed, "That piece of shit is down on the range. Here's the knife. I've sliced him up." And that is the story of Roch Thériault and the Anthill Kids. Thoughts?
That's a pretty fitting way to die.
Yeah, he fucking deserved it.
Yeah, what a
He
piece of
deserved
shit.
more. You could argue that he deserve something worse than death, but
That is an awful story.
it gets like it escalates, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what drives a person though?
I don't know. It's got to be. Well, I mean, of course, it's mental illness, but
Yeah,
to that extent, like, you,
you're just on a power trip at that point, hey?
it must be some sort of power that drives people to do that. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be. It's got to be. What's the word? Divine. It's got to be some sort of divine power that they feel the need to do that.
Mm. Yeah, but that might just be schizophrenia as well.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Who
Like,
knows?
I get like, obviously we take the piss out of this stuff a lot, right?
Hmm.
And I'm gonna take the piss out of this guy a lot because he was fucking a loony, like an actual
Hmm.
loony. But you can't like, I don't understand how you can justify doing these things to people in the name of God.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, you have to feel some sort of unfathomable power to justify this stuff.
Do you imagine what the guy feels though? Like, do you reckon it just got to the point where he was just on a massive power trip? He just thought he was the man and nothing could
Yeah,
hit him, like nothing could hurt him.
he's not
It's
getting
got to be that,
arrested.
hey?
He's getting more and more powerful. He can
Yeah,
do whatever he wants. People, regardless of what he's doing, will follow him.
that's the crazy part. It must be like just some sort of thing where they have no other option.
Stockholm syndrome, maybe.
Yeah, or something similar where they feel like they just can't get away.
Like a oh yeah, like a crazy degree.
Mm,
I know a lot of cults, like what's that? Heaven's Gate cult. They uprooted people entirely. They sold their houses. They gave away or spent or donated a lot of their life savings to them,
mm,
and they just followed them. Like they completely uprooted their lives to join these cults. So they're probably like, well, shit. What do we do? We've given away everything. What other option is
yeah.
there?
I don't
Ah,
know. It's where you just need to start your own. I promise if I ever start a cult, I promise when I start a cult, there will be no violence
yeah.
until I start, skinning a child. Oh, that one
Fuck.
fucks me up, man.
Yeah, I can handle when it happens to adults, but kids is a bit different. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
anything that happens to kids is just nut.
I believe that lady Gabrielle Lavelle is still alive.
The one I was talking about before.
The lady who got her hand cut
Oh,
off, and
Gabrielle Lavelle, is that what you said her name was?
yeah, I believe
And
she's
still.
still alive. Yeah, no, she is. That's crazy.
Gabrielle, here we go. Wrote a book on her time and escape. She got no
Jeez.
hand?
Show me your hands.
Let's see if it's lore accurate.
I really just made up this whole story for how long we've been talking? 52 minutes. Off the dome.
It is. Got a stump.
Poor lady.
That's a horrible thing to go through. Hope she made $1 million off her book and can live the rest of her life in, some sort of
Yeah.
peace.
Well, I'd never heard of this cult before.
Neither.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how, like, what's the word? Help me out here.
You found out?
Yeah, I don't know how mainstream it is really compared to the others, but easily one of the most fucked up things I've ever read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's really all I've got on it. Um, that's another episode in the bank, people. You got any final thoughts to add?
Uh, Cults can be fun when um
Like, I listen. Cults bad, but also cults can be fun.
cults can be fun.
We just spent 50 minutes talking about the most brutal, heinous ways to torture and mutilate people, and you're like, oh, it could be fun, but.
Yeah, not me, but
Yeah, no, I wouldn't fall for it.
I promise, when I start a cult, there will be no violence. It will all be fun and games. We will
Man,
all own F1 cars. It'll be living the dream.
I'm so easily corrupted. I could see myself joining something like this fucking easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Um,
For anyone out there that's starting up a cult, hey, hit me up, you know.
you want 2 members? I'm easy.
Yeah, 1-2 right here. Plead your case.
Play GKs. I remember when I was in fucking primary school, I started a clan on COD, and we used to have to get in chats and try and convince people to join it.
Really?
And they're like, "Oh, you can't. You KD's only like 0.3," and I was like, "Yeah, that's just because I just had a couple bad games. I promise it's not all going to be like that."
It's actually my Smurf account. Oh, if I shoot you, you're in the clan. If I don't shoot you, you're not in the clan. I would have lost my mind if Fortnite was around when I was a kid.
Oh,
I
dude,
would have
there's
been a
kids that
totally
grew
different
up with
person.
Fortnite. How crazy is that?
There's kids that grew up straight off the bat with iPads and stuff and just
Yeah.
technology in general. I was like, I think I had to wait till I was maybe 7 or 8 to get a like home computer, and it was the
Mm.
dodgiest thing. It was like cream colored, one of those big fucking bricks. And I remember every site you pressed on, you had to be super careful, otherwise something could pop up.
We didn't
But
have internet at my house till I was 12.
oh man. Oh yeah, I didn't have I had like my Xbox 360 and stuff, and I could never access Xbox Live because I got the old guy
Mm.
at the market to like put illegal games on it. That's a lie, but but yeah, I could never access Xbox Live. It was crazy. Now I just download my games from the internet.
Yeah,
Free.
illegally.
Yeah. That's
So I
that's
evade taxes and I don't pay for anything. What is the government? They're going to come after me? No one listens to this.
yeah, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna listen to my podcast? Fuck yeah.
What? I could admit to the most I've admitted to the most heinous stuff on things that no one will find.
On unlisted streams on the Sea of Stonks YouTube channel. Check it out.
Yeah, watch someone dox me now. Cheers. You know what? Do it. I wouldn't even care. What are you going to do? Ruin my life? It's already fucked.
Is this something that's going to come back and bite us in 10 years' time? Like
I
funny.
don't know, but who cares?
Like funny, but what
Like, it's kind
happens?
of funny, but will it?
For reference, I do pay my taxes, and
Yeah, for reference, everything we actually say isn't meant to be taken seriously.
I just bought a game off Steam today.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
bought me my birthday present,
What's
too.
your birthday present? We're about to play it.
Yeah.
The new F1 game. It's just come out. We're going to talk about it on Monday on Shake and Bake F1 podcast. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube. It's still under the name that's taken, but I'll change that now. I've never committed a crime in my entire life. I know Tyron hasn't. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, we've been talking for too long anyways. Thanks for tuning in, people. We'll be back next week with another episode. All right, goodbye.
Say hello.